Evening, folks. This is Drake here, giving my thoughts and reactions to the new PoE League, Rise of the Abyssal, patch 0.3. My thoughts and ideas, a quick overview of what I thought after the reveal. Some of the patch notes have finally dropped. My thoughts on some of the drama that's been kind of cropping up on there, and a few other points and ticks. At least for me, biggest elephant in the room finally got addressed in PoE in general. Trade. We finally have an in-game trade system. Now you still have to go to the PoE trade site, find your item, click on the item, but then the game takes over from there, teleports you to a person's hideout. You appear right next to the person who will be you will be meeting in Act 4. This person does both your currency trade or um, the item trade, the auction house. Great. I love this. Wish we could do an item search in game. That way you could do a price check in game when you're putting your own stuff up, or like, hey, that way you're not having to go and to a third party site. This is better than nothing. I will say that this is better than nothing. This is honestly really cool idea because it will let you see how some people's layouts are and their hideouts. You still have the first come first serve. So whoever can get into someone's hideout the fastest to get to that sale, she'll win the race. But still cool. No longer have to AFK people. You no longer have the people that haven't logged in for over a month. They're done with the game, but they still have an item up on the auction house, and you can't get them to post. Also, with some of the security features they have mentioned, like i.e. there is a cooldown, like if you post an item, however long this cooldown is, they didn't really go into details, but if you put an item up, it's got to be up for a certain amount of time before you can pull it back down. This will help hopefully prevent those people like, oh God, I got like 20 people. Boom, boom, boom. Let me pull this item to raise the price. Nope. Once it's up, it's up. If they can get in, get the item before they get your before your cooldowns up, they get the item. But it also helps with the price um, fixers. There's a gold. There is a gold cost. This hopefully will help with botting, gold farmers, and whatnot that are trying to flip items. Because now I think Jonathan said that the amount of gold that an item goes up is a map's worth of gold. So take it as you will. At least we don't have to worry about gold inflation. Right? We'll see about how it is with exalts and divines. The next thing is Abyssal League. They're bringing in the Abyss mechanic. This is one of my favorite OG mechanics from PoE 1. I love this. Get the little tendrils in the ground. You run over to the tendril. You get that little crack in the ground. You're just trying to kill stuff as fast as it comes up while trying not to have everything else in the zone kill you too. This, they're kind of swapping it up. As you kill stuff in the zone next to the crack or next to the cistern or the well or whatnot, then guys come up. This looks like it could be a lot of fun. It also looks like it could get very hairy very quickly. So it's kind of like, hey, you got to control your pace. The faster you kill stuff, the faster these guys come back up. And they're coming up buffed. You kill a rare next to a well, you're going to have another rare coming up with the exact same, if not harder buff to come try and wreck your world. So control that pace, but they're also using a lot of some of the main mechanics. There will be some of these cisterns where you'll get the chest comes up, and then you get like a piece of bone or whatever. You get like spinal cords between your jawbones, stuff, right? Undead. Some of these you could use to craft your waystones. Others you could use to craft your weapons and gear. Just kind of like the same system from Betrayal League, where you get the inscription on it. You got to reveal it, and it gives you three options. Only instead we don't have a crafting bench. More on that later to kind of save those two. So it's kind of like you go to the Well of Souls, throw your item in. This little creepy guy goes down, grabs it, pulls it up, and then you get to choose your three options. Could be fun. I could see a little bit of aggravation here because everybody's going to be like, well, PoE1, we could save these to our crafting bench and actually use these down the road on other items. It's another crafting option. It is something that could help us, especially with the changes that are now coming into Essence. essence is now deterministic to a certain extent. Hey, this essence gives you fire damage, this essence gives you bleed, stuff like that. And another cool factor I am really loving when I saw it is Abyssal League will play in with the other leagues. The Essence League, the Essence monster, if you kill it next to a fracture, the fracture will, I don't know if it'll give you an Essence mod. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but it gives you something. Like they play in with each other. If you kill a Rogue Exile next to Abyssal League, you're going to get a Lich that comes up to fight you in their place. Really cool. I really love that thought of different leagues playing off of each other, souping each other up. It'd be really cool. Kind of like how Delirium and Essence, kind of like the Delirium makes the Essence monster really scary sometimes. Cool. Love it. Great. More, please. Also, they are hinting at something for your character. Apparently, you can get a Lich Bone or whatever, and then your character literally jumps themselves into the well. They don't reveal what it is, but it's the tagline as well. It makes your weapon better. What about you? We'll see. Looking forward to finding out. Come this next Friday. Next thing is, I don't know how I feel about it. We're gonna have to kind of wait to see how this goes about sprinting. This is their way of trying. One of their ways of trying to fix the slog in the game that people are kind of burning out on is sprinting. Hit your dodge button, hold it down. Your character goes into a dodge, comes out of it, and starts sprinting. You're faster than all the creatures, not quite as fast as a character on a row up, but you're faster than all the monsters trying to eat your lunch. If you get hit while you're sprinting, you get knocked down. Kind of like how when the row takes enough damage, you get knocked down there too. From the way I understand it, I don't know. I never tried the row. I have a few thoughts. I'll get more into that later. I'm just kind of giving a brief overview of my quick thoughts on this and then some other points. It's hard to say. I have to agree with a few other people. Oh no, the dogs brought it up. Just give us a quick silver medallion, thingamajig, flask, whatever. Don't give us the travel skills. I get it. I do have some ideas for that. I think would be actually kind of fitting without breaking the vision. I'll get into that later. Just give us Quicksilver. Quicksilver by itself was not a bad thing. It was actually rather nice, especially in early game before you in PoE1 before you did get your flame dash, your shield charges, your leap slams, and all that. I don't, especially if we're giving up a piece of gear, a trinket that could keep us safe for more speed. That sounds fairly fair because like right now that's if the stuff for the trinkets. I haven't tried it, Alex. You're giving up a trinket slot, a chance at immunity, even right for more movement speed. What's wrong with that? I don't see a problem with it. Or you could do what they kind of already do in the game with Blink. Give the classes like, hey, a little bit of spirit. I won't say 100 spirit like Blink, but like, hey, 10 spirit. Rogues can now do a dive forward or whatnot. Warriors get their leap slam. Mages get their bleak step. Actually, correction, rogues get their phase walk. That'd actually be rather cool. I think for the agility classes, having phase walk instead of dodge, I think they would all kind of like that. It's like, oh, well, because I don't know how many times I would try to dodge out of a situation and get stuck on something. I can't dodge roll. The monsters are now eating my lunch, and I'm like, really wish I could get over these guys. Sprinting could be good. Like I said, we got to wait till Friday to find out. But honestly, I have to agree with some of the stuff I've heard. It feels like a band aid. It feels like someone put their foot down at GGG, said, no, we don't like this, and I will never allow this. We are willing to compromise. You don't want to give us travel skills. Can we at least have a Quicksilver? Now you're like, well, here's the sprint. But if you get hit, you're going to, granted, you can use a skill to break the sprint, so therefore you don't have to worry about it. But if you get off screen by something, hope there wasn't anything important in that map you wanted. But like I said, Friday we'll find out. Hopefully it's good. Dear God, I am hoping it is good. There's been a few other things. A lot of class changes. Some of them I'm going to get into because there is a bit of drama going on about it, and I kind of understand it. And I also have my own view. I will go over it in just a few. Mages are now um, mages are really looking kind of cool. Kind of feeling more of that mage fantasy role of, hey, I'm throwing fireballs with one hand, lightning with the other hand. Now they can feed off of each other. Now they got elemental essences. The example given in the reveal stream was Frostbomb. When it goes off, it leaves an ice essence behind, so you pick it up, cast fireball. Your fireball not only ignites, it will also freeze and do cold damage. Best of both worlds. Sounds really fun. Honestly, it sounds fun. I don't agree with how some of the skill gems though had, hey, this is removed, but you get it back with an essence. It's like not all. Quite a few of them say, hey, now I got this new shiny. Get that essence, I got this new shiny. Um, really looks really cool. Looks really fun. Monk players, I think we're gonna see a lot of monks this league. A lot of unarmed monks. We're Shattering Palm. They got some major love this league. Huntress, not so much. Witch got it a lot. We'll see how good that is. I think everybody around the world heard Gazzy Cream himself when they mentioned what they were doing for minions. Hi, Felix. Minions look like they're going to really wreck shop. Warriors look like they got the nerf back, and I'm honestly wondering, did GGG just not like melee? The biggest drama I would say that is going on is people are looking at Warrior and going, WTF. Now, part of it is not just Warrior exclusive. Block being nerfed down to max at 50%, a 50-50 chance to block a attack. Doesn't sound that bad. Oh, you just got to block. Yes, one attack. Now, extrapolate that out to 20 attacks are coming in at you all at once because you got a pack of monsters all over you. That's 50-50 on each of those attacks. So you're looking at least perfect math, like, actual 50-50. 10 of those attacks are hitting you, and you're not dictating which 10. So for all you know, that big slam you were hoping to block isn't one of those getting blocked. It's the one that's going to clean your clock. That's It doesn't sound like it's going to feel all that good. And that is the biggest thing. It might be 50-50, but it's probably not going to feel like it because it never really actually feels like 50-50. And then when you look at what Evasion's getting, where I think it's the flex skill, sorry, I'm not too sure about this. They are literally getting a skill that when they spec into, they can upgrade all the way up to 100% chance to reduce an attack's damage by 40%. 100% chance. But block can't have it 75. Yeah, block's an absolute stop. Like, hey, I'm not taking any damage. It got buffed, yes. Now, hey, we're blocking everything. As long as it's not a red globe slam from a boss, we can block everything. Cool. The 50-50 nerf wasn't needed. Knocking it down to 50% chance was not needed. We are starving for defensive layers as it is. Right now, Evasion, look, at least right now on paper, from what we are seeing, Evasion is going to be king with the deflecting strikes or whatever it's called. Because one, hey, I can dodge your attack 100%, and take no damage. But if you do hit me, because it is degrading, I understand that it does degrade over time. As you dodge more and more and more, it degrades until eventually you are hit. Then the glancing blow comes in before your resistances and chunks 40% of all the damage that is coming at you from that hit that is hitting you before your resistances come up, I believe. But then warriors are looking over here. It's like, I don't have evasion. I've got armor and I've got block. armor's getting a buff. I'll go over that here in a second. But your first line of defense is your shield for most players for with that block. And GGG said, well, it's too powerful. And they're looking over at the agility side and going, they just got all that handed to them. Evasion got no nerf. None. Now, granted, evasion did feel pretty weak out of the three defensive options, because right now we had armor. Well, more than three, sorry. We had armor, we had block, we had energy shield, we had evasion. And now evasion, because the way it's designed, evasion, the glancing blow or whatever it's called, is exclusively for evasion builds. If you don't have evasion, it doesn't kick in, because they're trying to avoid the spell suppression from PoE situation where everybody's got to have spell suppression in your build. 100% spell suppression. They're trying to prevent that and give agility players their thing. Cool. Armor players relied on block in a lot of instances, especially since we can't convert a lot of the damage like you could in PoE 1. PoE 1, you can literally on some of your builds, I'm going to take some of that fire damage. It now heals me instead of damaging me. I get more health. Oh, while I'm also healing from this, I take reduced damage, and then all my other stuff kicks in before that. We don't have that in PoE 1, at least not yet. To nerf block like this really feels like a kick in the balls. Especially when you tie in the fact they nerfed Giant's Blood. Giant's Blood gave you the option to use a two-handed weapon with one hand and a shield. Strength now gives you only, if you spec in the Giant's Blood, strength only gives you half of the health you would. So now, not only are you as beefy, not as beefy as you are before, but you're also blocking less. So you have less health to absorb the damage, and you have less chance to stop the damage. Now, granted, armor got a buff. A good buff, I think. How good is hard to say. They're now having it where you can spec your armor to block elemental damage, whereas before it could only do physical, now it can do elemental. Granted, I have to point it out, everybody's going, well, now Chaos still got you. Hey, Chaos gets everyone. Name of the game. Now, from what's being understood, and what I could be wrong, this is before your resistances come in. So little small hits, you're going to do great. That big hit, not so much. Armor doesn't work as well on large, chunky hits. Now, if the order was reversed, your resistances kick in, then your armor, that would actually probably make a lot of people a bit more happy, because then your armor's having to cover for less. That could help. Especially considering the fact block is now 50-50. Warriors are looking, and a lot of people are pointing out as to why they think this is happening is because of the racing events. Because Warriors had an easier access to shield charge. Warriors had an easier access to a early game damage mitigation that worked really good. Early game. Later on in the game, armor sucks. Everything I've heard online says armor sucks. You get to the end game, armor is just not as good. Hence the reason why everybody's going to either agility energy shield or armor energy shield. Everybody was wanting to go energy shield for that second health pool, because energy shield has points on the passive tree. Now, this is all with the big caveat, we don't know what the passive tree is getting. They are adding a lot. If you watch the reveal stream, you will see they had a before and after. Bare bones current passive tree. Dear God, I got lost in first phase. There is a lot being added to that passive tree, and from the little bit they explained, we're getting a lot of good stuff. So, this is with that caveat. We don't know what's on the passive tree. There could be some really good shit on that passive tree that's going to make block godly. Or, from what we have seen with the current passive tree, you can make block godly, but it's going to take something else away from you, because you can't have, for some reason, we can't have good without the bad. Just let us have some good. No consequence. Please. I don't think that's too much to ask. Now there is not as big nor near as big, but I have heard some of it in some of the comments and chats I've seen in other videos and discords. People are upset about Druid. GGG never promised Druid in 0.3. Not once. In fact, they have gone so far as to say back when they were launching the latest league in PoE1, they are no longer going by releasing stuff when it's done. No, they're going by, hey, here's our launch date. What do we have ready? Okay, this is what's ready. That's what's going in. Everything else will wait. They never promised it. They did promise it for 0.4. And the reason for this is after Huntress is introduced and we saw the fiasco with Lightning Spear, they realized they can't add a new class without getting other things balanced, or they're just going to make the problem worse. Because now you would have Huntress with Lightning Spear rocking and rolling, and then whatever Druid comes with, Bear Slam, Tornado, Fissure, whatever. I agree with this. I understand. Hey, people wanted that new class, but you got to understand they don't. This ain't Apex Legends where every time there's a new league or whatever, there's a new guy. This is PoE. We don't do new characters all that often. In fact, PoE 1, as far as I know, hasn't introduced a new character to play in over 5 years. I think the last one was the one chick, the Countess or whatever. Not Countess. I can't remember her name. The Jack of all trades and master of none. I believe that was the last one they did. And that was like very early in PoE's lifetime. They've already said what classes you're going to get. I understand people want to try the new classes. I get it. I would love to try Druid. I would love to try the Paladin. I would like to see what Shadow does in PoE 2, how the Paladin plays, how the Templar plays, how some of these older classes play with a facelift and refresh and all that. Cool. Got to be patient. They did not make a promise, so they're not breaking one. Give them some patience. They did promise, and I expect and I will vouch for, or will not necessarily vouch, but I will say they promised in 0.4. We should hold them to that. They didn't promise it for this league. They are reacting to what happened in 0.2. Let them fix what they messed up. Let them get the game in a better position for when a new class is. Not everyone's going to want to play Druid. They're going to want to play something else. But if everything else sucks, still, when Druid comes, everybody's going to do what they do towards Huntress now. Hate it. Huntress, I feel like, has a bad rep because of how it came in. Lightning Spear for everyone. That's pretty much it. Now, they are stressing how they want to do more combo stuff. I'm debating between Sorcerer or Warrior. That skill combo the set they showed with the Flaming Mjolnir and then the Shattering Cry looks really cool. Very thematic. You got the Warrior just stomping all over the place, leaving earthquakes, volcanoes, setting everything on fire, walking destruction. Whereas the Mage with its elemental essence is just Mother Nature unleashed on the battlefield. It looks. I'm debating on which one. Warrior, those kind of losing out due to the shield nerfs, but we will see. I might try to start with Warrior, and then if it's not really vibing, swap over to Sorceress. I did have some ideas I think maybe could work. One was what I talked about. Give us an option, maybe have it in the as a gym. You could have it in the ascendancies as a note. Hey, instead of dodge rolling, you're phase walking. That'd be cool. I think a lot of Rangers and Huntresses would love to have phase walk for their character. Say, yeah, no, I ain't got the dodge roll, but I got the phase walk. May just get a blink. Give Warriors their leap slam. I think Warriors would really love to have a leap slam, or the melee builds would love to have a leap slam. That way they get in close, they can keep up on, stay in that boss's face, or use it to get away from the boss, or go to an ad. May just get the blink. You could also maybe theoretically for like the witch, give her flame dash. Not 3 charges, obviously. balance it for the game. I understand you guys don't want it like zoom, 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 zoom. You're wanting us to slow down. That could be kind of cool, though. We'll see how Sprint is. I'm still a fan of the Quicksilver. One of the other ideas I think we could use is they want us to combo stuff. The problem is when you get into maps, it is PoE1 all over again. You step into the map, there is a pack of monsters trailing 5 different packs, and his cousin right behind him, all mad dashing for you. You don't really have time to combo that. Now, what you could combo is your own personal buffs. You do attack 1, it gives you a buff that soups up attack 2. You launch in on the net. It needs to last a certain amount of time, not permanent, a certain amount of time. You get to so you do attack 1, steamroll that first pack, it gives you that buff. Attack 1's now on cooldown or whatever you want to do, or it's not as strong. It's got a whatnot, but it gives you that charge for attack 2. You immediately launch attack 2 on the next pack. That one gives you a buff for attack 1. You roll back into attack 1 or attack 3 or whichever. And you could use these buffs to kind of leapfrog between packs. Say, hey, boom, boom, boom. And you're doing the combo. And it would work on bossing to where you're not, you're not really having to, worry about that. But it's like, boom, I got the attack in. Boom, I got the next attack in. Boom, I got the next attack. Right now, the way it works, at least in 0.2, either the monster's steamrolling you or you're steamrolling the monster. That combo doesn't exist because you're either killing it too damn quick by the time you get the maps, or you ain't got time for it. You're dodge rolling your way all the way back home, trying to stay out of trouble while trying to launch at least one attack between each dodge roll. Now, they did have a lot of good with the weapon swapping and all that to help with the combo, with the essences, the way the war cries are now working, I guess. I'm not too sure. I never played Warrior in this one. But at the same time, it's like, this is a thought. Like, have it where skills could, hey, I get this buff. These skills with these tags can feed off that buff, or the buff, like, hey, like Ranger, hey, you use this skill, it gives you an option to soup up your lightning arrow. The lightning arrow now does a shocked ground buff. Your next arrow can consume that shocked ground on the next pack, or you can shoot an arrow through it like a flame wall, but instead of a flame wall, it's shocked ground. Now your arrow is electronic. Hi, Bubby. You can stay there for a minute. That's my kind of thing. Not necessarily you got to debuff the enemy because the enemy doesn't last long enough, or you're too damn busy trying to stay alive against that enemy. But where it buffs you, gives you something for the next attack to consume or use to keep that combo going. Kind of Final Fantasy 14 does this kind of. You got a set of 3 skills. You do the first skill, which buffs the second skill, and then the third skill. Yeah, I feel it. Come here, buddy. There you go. Just an idea. Food for thought, if you will. Let me know what you think. Drag, you're an idiot. Hey, Drag, you're a genius. Drag, what the hell are you smoking? Just a thought. I get too much time at work trying to think of this stupid stuff like this. All right, bub. Yeah, you got your scritches. Be happy. So, let me know what you guys think. I stream Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Sundays it's noon to 5 Central. Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays it is from 6:30 to 10 o'clock Central. Come swing by, tell me how bad I suck at video games. I got a vid coming up for the Battle 6 beta where I'm ranting and raving like an idiot and a loon, not realizing just how bad I sucked until I look back at it. Have fun, y'all.